Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you outside of Turf Moor after a disappointing afternoon for Arsenal. In the end, they'll be absolutely kicking themselves going back down the M6 towards London, wondering just how they've managed not to win this game. 1-1 it's finished here. I'm sure you've all seen it. Just a real sickener for Arsenal, really. They absolutely should have won this game. They had the chances, gave away an absolutely criminal goal that, again, I'm sure you've seen, I'm sure you've all complained over and had your say on exactly what Xhaka was doing deep inside his own penalty area there, which gave Burnley their equaliser just before half-time. Arsenal had taken the lead early on through Aubameyang, 8th goal in 8 games, I think, now for Auber against Burnley. He loves playing this lot, but you thought at that point they'd go on and win this one comfortably. They had the chances in the first half. Xhaka missed one. He had another one where his touch let him down when he should have scored. Aubameyang had one that he miscued, and the chances were coming. You thought Arsenal were going to go on and get the second goal, possibly the third goal, and kill the game off early. It's what they should have done, but they didn't, and then they were made to pay by that inexplicable error from Granit Xhaka. I mean, he's been very, very good, Xhaka, recently. Since the sending off against Burnley in the home game against Sean Dyche's side, actually, he's come back from that red card and played really well. He's been integral to Arsenal's upturn of form since Christmas. But yeah, an absolute shocker. I mean, you've all seen it. It was just an absolute shocker. I don't know what he was thinking. I've seen the replays now. Yes, Leno, it probably wasn't the best pass from Leno to give him that deep inside his own sort of penalty area, but he did ask for it from Leno. You see, he asked for the pass, and if he was going to use it, he should have passed it first time out right back to Callum Chambers. He didn't. He took the touch, and then he got himself in all sort of problems. But even then, what he was trying to do, if he was trying to dink it over Chris Wood or curl it round him with his wrong foot, it was just an absolute hospital pass that he tried, and instead just kicked it straight into Wood, and it deflected past Leno, and that was it, 1-1. And all that hard work that Arsenal had done, all the good play they'd done in the first 40 minutes had been forgotten, and they struggled initially in the second half. Burnley had a couple of chances, actually. Leno made a couple of good saves, one from Wood, one from McNeil. And then Arsenal came on strong again in the final 20 minutes, and you thought they were going to get the goal. Pepe, who came on for Willian, missed a really good chance, miscued horribly after Kieran Tierney's cut back 6 yards out, had to score, really completely missed his kick. Then Arsenal should have had a penalty, hands on. We saw that, you've seen it, Mikel's been speaking about it after the game, saying it was absolutely clear and obvious that that they should have had the penalty. From it just looked blatant. It was a handball from Peters, you could see that. Then they had a penalty that was given, and Peters was sent off, only for VAR to then overturn that, and it was correct. I think it certainly hit Peters' shoulder and not his hand, so I don't think Arsenal can have any complaints about that one. And then they hit the post through Ceballos. Pepe, that one from Peters that was initially given as a handball, it went on and hit the crossbar, so they hit the woodwork twice. Just a game that they absolutely should have won. I mean, looking at the stats here, you look at it, the team stats, Arsenal had 16 shots, Burnley had 9. They had 11 shots, Arsenal, in the second half. Burnley only had 5. They had 60% possession. They were just a better side. They were, absolutely. I mean, they weren't brilliant by any means, Arsenal. I think the goal just before half-time certainly knocked them out of their stride for about half an hour or so, but they were certainly the better side, and they should have won this game. They had the chances to, but they didn't take them, and ultimately, Arsenal always find a way of conceding a goal, and that's exactly what they did again today. And that's the problem if you don't take your chances. You've got to kill these games off early when you've got a tendency to give goals away like Arsenal, and not just Arsenal, everyone now. I think the art of defending is pretty much gone. I mean, Arsenal have got one of the best defensive records in the Premier League this season, and that, I think, says a lot about the standards of defending in this country. So you just got to take your chances when they come, and unfortunately for Arsenal, they didn't take their chances, and despite that late little charge in the final 20 minutes when they got on top again, couldn't find the second goal. And as I said at the start of this video, they will be kicking themselves all the way back down the M6, because it was absolutely a game they should have won. Mikel Arteta knew that. He just spoke to us in his press conference afterwards. He knows it was a game they should have won. He said we have to be more ruthless, because when the open situations we created, a 1v1 situation, cutbacks on the 6-yard box, we hit the bar, hit the post, we had a shot block where their keeper was beaten. When you come here and you want to be fighting with the top teams, you have to win this game, and we haven't done it because of the missed chances and because we've given a goal away, and because when we needed some decisions, we didn't get them. On the penalty decision, the handball that wasn't given, when he was asked, should that have been a penalty, he said, absolutely, I think it's obvious and clear. There is no debate. If that's not a penalty, then someone will have to explain what a penalty is in this league. again, absolutely right. I don't think anyone's going to say that wasn't a penalty. Quite why the VAR didn't get it, I don't know. I'm sure the Premier League have probably released a reason by now. I haven't seen it, but for me, that's an absolute a penalty all day long. He sticks his arm out. It's not down by his side. It's absolutely moves his arm in an unnatural position and punches the ball away from Pepe in the box. It's got to be a penalty for me. Right then, let's talk about my player ratings, shall we? Not going to be fantastic because I thought it was a fairly average performance, even though they were the better side. But Leno, for me, possibly at fault, so some way at fault for the goal. Maybe he shouldn't have passed it to Xhaka, but that's the way Arsenal play. I mean, Arsenal's goal really sort of stemmed from Leno. And it's just the way they Arsenal play. It's risk reward. We've seen it. It's not just Arsenal. It's everyone now. This playing out from the back, and Arsenal got punished. But I thought Leno dealt pretty well with everything else that came his way in the game. Made two really important saves in the second half, which stopped Arsenal potentially even losing the game. So I'm going to give Bernd Leno a 7. Pablo Mari I thought was excellent, and not just today. I just think he's actually an excellent defender. I think Arsenal got a really, really good defender on their hands in Pablo Mari. I thought he was really good again today against a team that can cause centre-backs problems with the way they play, Burnley, but Pablo Mari dealt with it really well, so he's going to get an 8 for me. I'm going to give David Luiz a 7. I thought he was pretty decent as well at the heart of the defence. Callum Chambers, I'm going to give Callum a 6. He didn't really do much going forward down the right-hand side. He's not really that sort of player, is he? He's more of a centre-back than a right-back. He didn't really bomb on and overlap with Xhaka on the right, but I thought he was fairly solid throughout in his first starts in 2019. So Callum gets a 6 from me. Kieran Tierney, I'm going to give a 6 as well. I didn't think it was one of Tierney's better games, but he did have that really good pullback in the second half, which should have resulted in a goal for Pepe. Granit Xhaka, I didn't think he was awful or anything, but I think that mistake was such a massive mistake that I can't really give him a high mark from it because it was such a costly error, which has cost Arsenal the game. So I'm going to give Xhaka a 5. Thomas Partey I thought was decent when he was on. He's certainly tired in the second half. It was no surprise to see him substituted for Dani Ceballos midway through that second half. Obviously it was his first start since coming back from injury, so no surprise to see him tire as the game went on. He was really good, played a big part in the first goal, Thomas Partey. I'm just looking forward to him gradually getting fitter as the games go by. He gets a 7 for me. Willian, another assist for Willian. He wasn't, I think he was nowhere near as good as he was against Leicester for me, but it was still a fairly solid performance from Willian, and he got yet another assist for him. Now I'm going to give Willian a 7. Give Odegaard a 6. I thought he was pretty average today. Odegaard didn't really impact the game. I think we all wanted the way we'd have liked to have seen him play. He gets a 6. Bukayo Saka, a rare off day I thought for Saka today. Should have scored in the first half. Poor finish when he sort of bundled his way through, and then after that when he got played in by Aubameyang, his touch let him down when that was just before the equaliser actually. So it's a rare off day for Bukayo Saka. He gets a 6 as well for me. Auba got himself a goal. So I'll give Auba a 7 for the goal. It wasn't his best performance by any means, but I'm going to give him a 7 extra point for getting the goal. In terms of the subs that came on, not really going to give many of them a mark just because they all came on midway through the second half. It was tough to score them. I mean, Pepe certainly made an impact on the game with the miss, which he should have certainly done better with, the second one that hit the bar, so he did have an impact, but I'm not going to give any of the other subs a mark. So that's Pepe, Ceballos and Lacazette with the second half substitutes. Right, that's me. That's it from me here at Turf Moor. It's pretty cold, so apologies if I've been stumbling my way through this, but I'm absolutely freezing and I want to get back in my car and start the long 4-hour journey home, thinking probably nothing other than that Granit Xhaka mistake. So from Burnley it's finished. Arsenal 1, Burnley 1. Speak to you soon.